So, I say, welcome to YouTube. You already know who it is. It is your boy, Ronnie D, and I'm back for more reactions. And let me tell you, this is a death battle that is about as ice cold as Sub-Zero. Because we're going to take a look at the death battle between Fairy Tail's greatest ice wizard, Gray, and Akame's ice cold B. Well, ice cold B word. That's what I'm going to say. But anyway, the video is by Death Battle. The link to the video will be in the description down below. Can't wait for this ice cold death battle to get it started. So let's get into it.
The element of ice is cold and unforgiving. Literally! Only in an equally frigid and unmerciful land can one understand its true potential.
Like Gray Bullbuster, Ice Mage of the Fairy Tail Guild.
And Esdeath, the Imperial General from Akame got killed.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In a land far, far away lies the kingdom of Fiori, a place filled with magic.
But not everyone was living their best life in Magic Town.
Gray Fullbuster was a child of the north, living among the frigid cold.
Until an edgy-looking demon showed up and wiped out the whole place. Gray survived, though everyone else wasn't so lucky. But hey, at least he got adopted by a hot stripper.
This was Ur, and she just so happened to be one of the greatest ice mages in the world.
So Gray got to training. Who else is gonna take out that creepy demon for revenge and justice, right? And he needed to master ice magic to do it.
Gray worked tirelessly and eventually became a master of ice-make molding magic, essentially crafting weapons, tools, and other inanimate objects out of ice.
Swords, shields, hammers, grappling hooks, stairs, clones of himself, anything he wants really. He can even whip out a friggin' ice bazooka. He also took after new mom and became a regular Chippendale himself. Yeah, he really never stopped doing that.
But with powerful magic at his beck and call, Gray became reckless, desperate to prove himself and destroy the demon. Sadly, this carelessness would change his life for the worse one more time.
He tried to take the demon out himself, but things didn't go so great, even with his shiny new powers. Wow. Gray learned how to do all this cool ice magic by stripping.
Well,
ice magic, here I come!
Whoa.
Oil me up, Wiz!
Boy, put your shirt back on.
Removing clothes was just part of Ur's training. See, she instructed Gray to do so in order to adapt to the cold to better resist it, letting him have a much greater range when it comes to his own ice magic.
Why didn't you say that 5 seconds earlier, when I still had my favorite shirt?
Anyway, Gray was outmatched by the demon, and Ur was forced to step in with her ultimate spell, Iced Shell.
It's a super handy move that can freeze a giant demon like that for good! Haha!
At the cost of the caster's life.
Ah, there it is. Big oof. If that's not bad enough, Gray learned an ultimate version called Lost Iced Shell. This one also kills you, but as a bonus, it also erases the memories of you from everyone who ever knew you.
Sure, the Lost Ice Shell is hundreds of times more powerful and basically a guaranteed win move if he has enough time to cast it. But how does that even work? Say Gray cut off your arm, leaving you handicapped for years, then Lost Ice Shelled himself elsewhere. That would be a very confusing day.
Is that how I lost my leg? Wonder who it was I knew. Ah, well, speaking of lost, Gray Filibuster had lost 2 families at this point.
But once again, he found new footing and new friends, this time with the mages of the Fairy Tail Guild.
Including a clingy, blue-haired water lady, Jubia. It's okay, you can ship them. Everybody
See
does.
that real rock
Including
band
that.
dog
Now full from a serious helping of humble pie, Gray changed his tune. No longer would he be a reckless avenger, but a cautious, laid-back defender of his new friends. Which works out since this is the sort of world where fighting for your friends actually increases your magical power. True story.
You could say he started keeping a cool head, huh? Yep, no more demon hunting for him. Well, until he got his hands on demon killing magic, of course.
After becoming an Ice Devil Slayer, Gray learned how to devour ice to replenish his power, become extremely resistant to ice attacks, mess around with other people's ice magic, and conjure spells designed to kill demons.
Which would have been really handy just a little bit ago. Oh well, with all this magic, ice mages can wipe out an entire town all at once, or stir up an ice storm that covered the country of Fiori.
By comparing Invil's ice storm to the scale of Fiori based on official maps, it appears the force and energy of the storm would be equivalent to more than 27 gigatons of TNT.
Now that's a big-ass storm, and it makes sense, as Gray can fight on par with fellow guildies Natsu and Urza. Natsu has dodged lightning, and Urza blew up this giant meteor all by herself.
Measuring the distance between the meteor and land in this shot, then comparing its size to Urza in this one, we found that Urza must have been moving over 20,000 times the speed of sound to intercept it, striking it with a force of over 50 teratons of TNT.
And Gray should definitely be in the same ballpark at least, especially since Urza wasn't even at her full strength.
Truly, as long as Gray keeps his pants on, literally, he is a fierce warrior who will always fight for his friends.
I've got a will all of my own. And it says my friends and I are gonna walk the path of life!
As a child, Esdeath lived among her clan in the northern frontier, hunting giant monsters called danger beasts with her father.
Awesome! Now that's how you raise a kid! Look at the size of that thing! Where can I get a hunting license for those?
However, Esdeath's destiny would lie further south, among a 1,000-year-old empire.
Because what do you know? Her whole clan got wiped out, leaving her as the lone survivor. Now, normally this would lead to a dramatic revenge story and a lesson on friendship and appreciating what you have and stuff. But, that's not what happened.
Right. Esdeath ascribed herself to a sort of survival of the fittest philosophy. To her, if her father lay dead before her, that didn't mean she should be sad or angry. That meant her father was weak.
You're damn right! Finally, somebody knows what I'm talking about! That's my power of friendship! This girl's got it all figured out!
Well, now on her own, and maybe a bit insane, Esdeath joined the militant ranks of the widespread empire, where her violent nature found a new calling.
Yeah, like when she buried 400,000 people alive! Mama Boomstick always told me you should enjoy your work, so good for her, I guess. She even got a promotion and an offer of a new weapon that would change everything. A Tegu.
Esdeath was already extremely proficient with a sword, but this was something entirely different. A Tegu is a supernatural relic forged from the remnants of special danger beasts. They can take the form of anything from a battle axe to a flute to a giant pair of scissors. However, Esdeath chose one so unique, most were absolutely terrified of it. It was blood, the demon's extract.
And because she's a totally sane and normal person, she drank it. All of it.
Oh
Okay.
my
After
god!
surviving the side effects, the usual headaches, nausea, maddening voices in her head telling her to kill everyone, Esdeath earned her reward.
Ice magic, bitches! She can make and shape ice out of thin air. Weapons, shields, platforms, horses, frickin' meteors, you name it, she can make it. Plus, she can fly by holding herself in the air with ice, and once built an entire army of ice horse people. Look at them all! There's thousands of them!
Oh, she
Well,
gonna
it did
kill
take her a
Gray.
few days to make them all, implying she has a limit to her ability. Regardless, her enormous power is clear. She can even create a giant suit of armor around herself like some sort of icy mech.
Oh, she
So
definitely
she's a
gonna kill
super deadly ice lady, but she's also got a soft side.
Even with all the power she held, not even sadistic conquest or unstoppable ice magic could fill the void in her heart. Esdeath sought one thing above all else: love.
The Ice Queen needs some lovin'. I know just the man for the job.
So does she, apparently. She made a list of the specific qualities in her ideal man, who turned out to be this guy, Tatsumi.
What? Really? Oh, some dopey generic anime protagonist kid.
Well, he literally is an anime protagonist.
Oh, come on, he's like a 3 out of 10 and she's not even on the chart. She's way too good for him.
Is she?
Oh, right, she's crazy. Even better!
Deranged sadism aside, there is one skill of hers which impresses above all else: Mahatma.
Gesundheit. It's a time step she can only use once per day. It freezes time, but like literally freezes it with cold.
This makes no sense.
Anyway, Esdeath got to work leading her new hunting group called the Jaegers and doing as many awesome things as she could to impress that Tatsumi brat. Once she froze an entire river with zero effort. Imagine how many slushies you could make with that.
That isn't even a fraction of her true potential. After absorbing those tens of thousands of ice cavalry, Esdeath harnessed enough power to create an icy storm that spanned an entire continent. Comparing its size relative to the planet's diameter, producing a storm of this scale would require a kinetic energy over 280 petatons of TNT.
Super impressive, but remember, it took her, quote, a few days to make that many ice people.
Essentially stockpiling a lot more power than she would normally be capable of on any individual day.
But Esdeath has tangled with the toughest rebels out there. Akame, who can dodge lightning, and dumb old Tatsumi, who was strong enough to outmuscle this absolute unit of a Tega called, Chico Taser. What's up with all these made-up German words?
Shikoteza, or the Primus Imperator, was powerful enough to create a massive crater outside the Imperial capital. To make a crater of this size, the blast must have equaled over 900 teratons of TNT.
And Esdeath is even more hardcore. Get this, one time her arm was poisoned, but before she let the poison spread to her body, she karate chopped her whole freaking arm off and replaced it with an ice sword. Yes!
Oh, she real cold.
Depending on where you stand, all the power in the world wasn't enough for Esdeath to win Tatsumi's love.
And she didn't even get to conquer the world either, because the main title character had to ruin everything.
But in the end, she didn't lament her failure to conquer, or see herself as weak. Rather, she simply regretted not being able to look at Tatsumi one more time. Perhaps her cold philosophy was growing a bit warmer. Or maybe she was just an insane psychopath.
I will always be victorious, no matter what gets in my way.
Damn.
A few moments later.
It's time for a death battle!
Okay, guys, here we go.
Such a paltry country is hardly worth conquering.
Hey! Take your troops and get out!
Just what I needed. Another crazy blue-haired woman in my life.
You have no right to feel my poop against your face. Now, die for me! Very nice.
Thanks for the meal. I say, Hero Love She's too much! I have no choice. But
Everything in the city will be encased in ice.
Go!
Congratulations and goodbye.
Damn.
Leader found dead after a crazy night with a dominatrix gone wrong. More at 7.
Well, let's get to this. This was certainly an interesting matchup, and both cryomancers held their own advantages.
Oh yeah, Gray's awesome ice make powers meant he had a ton of versatility at his frosty fingertips. Like how he could eat ice to replenish his magic. She sure didn't see that one coming.
Though being the tactician she is, Esdeath likely wouldn't fall for any of Gray's tricks more than once. Also, both were in the same range of speed by scaling to feats of dodging lightning.
Yeah, but the Queen of Cold Kink definitely had more ice power up her sleeves. Just look at those storms. The one Gray scales to covered a country, while Esdeath's covered a whole continent.
True, but we still had to deduce the exact nature and potential of her storm. Remember, Esdeath specifically claimed it took her a few days to make the ice cavalry she used as fuel for the storm. A few generally means 3 at minimum. So we can cut the yield of our previous calculation to 1/3. Lowballing this a bit, let's assume she used all of her power each day to make 1/3 of the total cavalry. This would mean Esdeath could wield about 93 pentatons worth of energy on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's way more than Inbel's ice storm, and 1,600 times deadlier than that meteor Urza obliterated. Esdeath definitely had the advantage in sheer magic power. Even with his better resistances, there's no way Gray could survive that much magic force. So he really only had one shot, the Lost Ice Shell.
Which certainly could have ended things right then and there, if not for Esdeath's time stop ability. Both the Ice Shell and Mahatma could only be used once, but Mahatma was more useful given its immediate effect compared to the Ice Shell's long casting time, and its versatility in that Esdeath could follow it up with whatever she wanted.
Also, it doesn't kill her, so that's a plus.
Sure.
Technically, Gray's Ice Devil Slayer magic means he could probably resist the Mahaptopotamus a bit. But that brat Tatsumi had crazy good cold resistance too, and it didn't do him much good against the Time Freeze.
Gray's speed and versatility meant he could hold his own, but Esdeath's awesome power, uniquely suited time freezing, and domineering perseverance saw her through this battle.
Looks like Esdeath stopped Gray cold.
The winner is Esdeath. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Death Battle. If you want the battle music for yourself, you can hear it by clicking the link down below.
And if you want to watch more stuff, click the boxes right over there.
Goro! Goro versus Machamp. Y'all should know Goro might kill Machamp because Goro is relentless, and he can murder anyone by pulling legs off. And y'all just know what Goro is all about. But anyway, I knew something told me that Esdeath would be Gray because, her entire personality, her character is entirely cold to the bone. She even chose to, kill herself along with Tatsumi at the end of Akame got killed. Well, let me tell you, that series was all types of crazy. Man. But anyway, post your comments down below telling me what y'all think about this death battle. Make sure to also like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram at Diesel687. Make sure to also subscribe to the death battle itself. This is your boy Ronnie D. And this is Diesel Reactions.